Welcome. My name is Michelle Aranda. I'm a tour guide and tropical biologist in Costa Rica. I'm representing here Proimagen with over 120 affiliates. We're really excited because we're having our first podcast here with Proimagen. The idea is that you get here all the expertise, all the information you need to sell Costa Rica, whether this is your first time or you're already selling Costa Rica. There's always a better way. It's in the hands of the experts. Today we have two experts with us, and we're really proud to share the space with you. It's a true honor to have Daniel Chavarria with us today, a travel expert. We have Josue from a brand new product. We're really excited about these changes, and this is what Costa Rica is about. Maybe you sell it, but you don't know it. We're going to start talking a little about, but I would like you to introduce yourselves. And while you do so, please tell us, why is Costa Rica the unique destination to be sold?
Okay, thank you. A real honor to be here also for me with Josue and with you, Michelle, who I know for many years already as also an expert on Costa Rica as a destination. My name is Daniel Chavarria, and I have been in tourism like for the last 30 years. And I have my own company, which is a marketing company for tourist companies and hotels. And I run the exclusive collection of hotels under the brand Enchanting Hotels, which is a very nice collection of high-end properties in Costa Rica. And I believe Costa Rica is a very unique destination for several reasons, mainly which is very highly valued by the market is because of the people. When the tourists come to Costa Rica, they really appreciate the way Costa Ricans are with our Pura Vida philosophy, way of being or mentality, I don't know.
Makes a difference.
And also, I believe it's a very unique destination because of the extremely high biodiversity, and not only the biodiversity, but the huge diversity of landscapes, of different regions to visit, attractions, the different beaches, national parks, nature, etc.
So Josue, now your turn. Please tell us about you, and also tell us, why is Costa Rica a unique destination?
Thank you very much for being here. It's been a pleasure to have you. We'll have this kind of conversation with Daniela, Michael. I think Costa Rica is a wonderful place. Here is our new brand, Bonanza Travel. We're more like luxury travel, but we are here in Bonanza more like luxury travel, but not, this, about experiences, about connection with humans, about identity, and these kind of experiences that we are genuine communication with them. They are not just a number. They are just human beings who has savings, dreams, who wants to come to Costa Rica. So that's the idea of Bonanza Travel, who wants to get the human connections about anything here in Costa Rica. My name is Josue. I have 10 years in the industry market. I have, Bonanza Travel. I am the founder. And I have a family-owned company, as my father has been in the market for 30 years, so tourism is in my DNA. So this is what I love, what I'm doing. And I think, as Daniel was mentioning here, the key point of Costa Rica is the humans, the Costa Rica Pura Vida spirit here. And I think one of the key points is we are a privileged country because we have everything in just one place. And the connection with humans, when the people come to Costa Rica, when you enter in the airport, you really feel what we are Costa Rica. So that's the key point, I think, the Costa Rica have about any other places. We have nature, we have beaches, we have all these kind of places. But the key points I will keep in mind is human connections. Just our genuine connection we have with the people. It's not about the hotels. It's not about the tour operators. It's about, when the traveler comes to Costa Rica, you can feel the energy. So that's the key point we have in Costa Rica here.
Definitely. I think this is making a difference. As we see in the world situation, humans need to connect with each other again. Now, it's interesting. You're saying that you're building a new brand, and this is good. This is healthy. You have identified problems when selling. What would you think is the most common mistake people commit when they're selling Costa Rica?
Well, Michael, I think one of the key points is, we have to understand the traveler. That's the key point we have to keep in mind when we are selling Costa Rica, because I think most of the people need to understand the traveler, what they need, why they want to Costa Rica. That's the key point of misunderstanding, because most of the people sell Costa Rica daily, typical itinerary, But I think we have to go behind, go far away, don't just thinking inside the box, to have go places to Cayo Negro, to Osa Peninsula. I think we have to really understand what is the needs of the traveler, not just selling Costa Rica because we are well positioned around the world, but I think we need to understand, just sell for selling. That's the key point, and this is the misunderstanding. We already have it, I think, in Costa Rica, because we just sell Costa Rica because it's well positioned. No, we need to understand what the traveler needs, because sometimes they need beaches, they want to go to cloud forests, also they want to nature lovers. I think this is the key point we have to keep in mind, to understand what the family or the traveler wants from us, to really put not an itinerary and a real experience for the traveler.
Of course. Danny, you, in the lodging industry, what have you felt? What are the common misperceptions, perhaps, that tourists get when they're traveling to Costa Rica, or the agents have misled the tourist?
Well, I think the main, I don't know if it's a misperception or a mistake or something, but the most difficult part for the agents when we talk about selling Costa Rica is that Costa Rica has so much to offer. You really need to know very well Costa Rica, how to move, where to go, which are all the attractions. I mean, we have over 75 national parks, which are classified in 12 different tropical life zones. So there's something for everybody here. But for a travel agent, how do you train them to get to know the country, the destination? So I believe deeply in what Proimagen is doing together with the tourist board, of bringing agents to Costa Rica, of doing fan trips through the country, because it is very important that the travel agents who are interested or who have a client that comes to the office to book a trip to Costa Rica, they need to understand how to sell this country, how to combine beaches with national parks, with experiences like Bonanza is planning to offer to their clients. How to combine all that. They also want to get in touch with the people, with the culture, and really have a unforgettable trip to Costa Rica. So training them and facilitating them to get to know the country and what we have to offer is very important. It's key to success.
Definitely, I think you just hit the bullseye right there. Having Proimagen with professionals in every area of the tourism, there are countries that are easy to be sold because they go for $5,000 and that's it. But Costa Rica has so much diversity, and I think the agents are missing a lot in terms of selling because they don't know all the things we can offer, or they don't know how to run them. We have had some misconceptions about Costa Rica. Like personally, I get a lot the rainy season. People don't know we have two, as you were saying, life zones, two.
We
climate
call it
regions.
the green season, remember?
Exact, that's it. But people still call it. So that's why they need workshops to have these hooks, these keywords that will help them to sell more. So what would be, Danny, from your expertise, the one true misconception agents should get rid of when selling Costa Rica?
Well, many agents believe this is a destination that can be sold only during the high season, only during the dry season, which is dry only in San Jose and Guanacaste. But I mean, we are a tropical country and a whole year destination. We can travelers and tourists can come to Costa Rica and enjoy this country all year round. And really, green season is one of our most interesting times of the year to visit the country because of so many nature phenomena happening, like the whale watching, like the bird migrations, like the turtle nesting. That is all happening in months that go between July and November. So those are the green season months. They're very attractive to visit this country. And we don't have that big demand, and probably it's because the agents have that misconception that Costa Rica can only be visited during the dry season.
That's so true. Actually, when you said that, and I'd like to go with Josue now, when we talk about climatic regions, you could tell the Caribbean while the Pacific is raining, and people don't know that. Again, it's important to get closer. As a DMC, what would you tell people they should get rid of and be able to sell better and more our country?
I think one of the key points is, as always mentioned, is understanding the traveler. Because as Daniel also explained, I think Costa Rica is a privileged country because every travel can come to Costa Rica whatever time they want to come. I think it depends of us on how we want to have the position of Costa Rica. Every people wants to come to November, December, January, February. All these kind of seasons you have whale watching, nest turtle, all these bird watchings. But I think the key point is you have to keep in mind that Costa Rica has too much other places to offer, not just the Caribbean beaches or to Guanacaste or Manuel Antonio. Exactly. I think Costa Rica has, we have to get more experiences with the local communities. It's not just about go to the beaches. I don't know, go to the national parks. I think Costa Rica have more identity than national parks. We have like Turrialba. I think that is a great place to go for culture. I think also we have Sarapiquí, and then I think it's Caño Negro. It's another places that is amazing. Have all the rivers, all the canals. I think it's the way we have this big responsibility as a travelers, as a DMC experts, to have the direction of the traveler. When you want to go to May, so this is the places you will have to go to May or June. Here in Bonanza Travel, we always speak with the traveler. You are not able just to come in November, December, January. You can come in May, June, September. But this is our responsibility to explain the traveler which places they can go in this area. So this is the key point we have to work with, because I do believe in Costa Rica there is too many people around the world who only knows Costa Rica for the green season. So they need to understand that they can come to Costa Rica to visit other places all around the world. And this is one of the key points I'm pushing in Bonanza Travel with all their partners. You want to come to Costa Rica, please, May, June, September, October. You have to come to Costa Rica to see the real experience of authentic activities, experiences, not just like the normal itinerary we have. That's the key point we are working here in Bonanza. I do believe what the key point is, like Proimagen, I do believe it's a great experience to bring all these people in Costa Rica to have these kind of fun trips, because they need to get Costa Rica, not just green season. And this is one of the key points that I'm a privilege when I go to these Proimagen events, because we have the possibility to explain to other people all around the world that they want to come to Costa Rica, not just in the green season. That's the key point. We have to, as a travel experts, not just DMCs or just hotels. It's about Costa Rica. We are not having competition. It's Costa Rica needs to be aware of what we can offer to other places. So I think it's important.
That's so important. You use a word. I love that. Authentic.
Yeah.
With so many destinations around the world and around us growing, we need to be different.
Yes.
Using that climatic diversity that Danny was mentioning, the agriculture, the different lands. How many people have actually been able to harvest a pineapple? They don't even know how a pineapple grows. They think it grows on a tree, and that's what makes a difference. So now, how would you help them building that better itinerary?
From Bonanza, I do believe we have to be creative. We have to be, thinking outside the box, because Costa Rica has a lot of expertise, people who can sell experiences. I think we in Bonanza Travel, we are, curators of product. We only don't sell like activities like rafting in Arenal or, to National Park of Manuel Antonio. We as a Bonanza DMC, we always looking for the newest activities, for these experiences who wants to connect. So that's the key point, as I always mention to you. It's about knowing Costa Rica, You know, I think we have to, you know, redesign the way of we are selling Costa Rica. We are not just beaches or cloud forest parks. It's about, as I always mention it, to go to Turrialba. Those experiences that we have to keep in mind to connect with the travelers. That's the key point. It's our responsibility always to be curators of experiences, to looking for extra. You know, we have to read the market, understand the market, not just understand Costa Rica, because we also already know it's about all the places we have, but we need to understand the market. You know, we have to keep in mind or put into the shoes of the traveler what they want. Mm-hmm. So that is why here in Bonanza, I think Daniel, with all the hotels he represents, we share the same vision. You know, experiences, you know, local communities, authentic. That's the key point we have to keep in mind always to have more travelers in Costa Rica. Yeah, that's the key point.
I believe, Danny, for sure. With your beautiful collection, Danny, you could help so much a travel agent to create because you're able to combine experiences, ambiences, experiences. And I'm really interested to hear your position about that.
Yeah, I wanted to add to that because we do share a vision, and I wanted to add what Josue is telling us about. Costa Rica has a certain magic, you know, because people are curious, how does a small banana republic country has no army? How can it be that we are a peaceful country with no army, with a cultivated population? We need to treasure a lot more as Costa Ricans our culture. We do have a culture to show, to share with the people. And I love this Pura Vida, which is so authentic, like you say, mm-hmm. from Costa Ricans. Mm-hmm. So we do try to share this at all our properties of the Enchanting Hotels collection. We have properties all over Costa Rica. And there are other magical areas where we also have hotels like the Blue Zone. We have a Blue Zone in Costa Rica. It's only 4 Blue Zones in the world?
5.
5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Costa Rica has one of the biggest ones. And that is magic, you know, people.
And it's the only one when men live longer than women.
Okay,
that
I
really
need to
breaks
go.
the mind.
I need to go and establish in the Blue Zone myself.
Exactly.
But really, that magic is what makes Costa Rica so attractive. And the magic of all those, the mystical and mysterious stone spheres. No? Mm-hmm. How did they appear in Costa Rica and why they are perfectly round? And, you know, we have very little archaeology, but it's very magical too. So
but it's
there are many magical things happening in Costa Rica.
Magical, it's how the Costa Ricans are starting to understand the legacy we've had, all that you mentioned. So the Costa Rican itself is falling in love and it's helping to preserve and immerse much more into that. So we feel that it's really having an impact on the country. Now, Danny, having said all of that, which would you say the 3 most important tips you could give a travel agent when sailing Costa Rica with your long-time expertise?
Well, my tip, my 3 tips are really kind of abstract because I would like, when travel agents are selling Costa Rica, I would like them to transmit to the potential traveler that they will experience the Pura Vida lifestyle, philosophy, way of being of the Costa Ricans. And when tourists come to Costa Rica, they really live the Pura Vida. And it's very authentic for us. We are Pura Vida. Our way of being is like that. So that is one of the most important ones. And then also to combine the different attractions that we have. Okay, don't come only for the beach. Don't come only for an all-inclusive stay, a week, all-inclusive on the beach, because you're missing the volcanic activity. You're missing the adventure. You're missing the national parks where there's so much happening. And the other abstract point is how does a travel agent transmits to the potential traveler that it will be a life-transforming experience. Because Costa Rica, normally, after somebody comes to Costa Rica, many of them do not want to go back home, and many of them want to come back many times, and they will be feeling that they had a life-transforming experience.
I had that. I had
The
a
three
client.
takeaways.
I had a client that came 5 times in a row. I said, "You should just move to Costa Rica." And they were like, "Actually, that's what we're doing." And they bought a house here in Costa Rica. They became Costa Ricans.
That happens a lot. That
Yeah,
happens a lot.
indeed.
I've heard many stories.
So, Josue, as a DMC, which will be your 3 pro tips to help travel agents to be much more successful?
Well, I think there is more than 3, but I'm going to do like the biggest one. As always, Daniel was mentioned. I do believe, as always said, human connections. The first point always be human connection. When you are speaking with the family or the traveler, you need to transmit the energy that you are interested in them, not just selling just a piece of itinerary. Just the first point, human connection, authenticity. The second point for me is not put all the places together. You have to keep in mind that this traveler maybe come back to Costa Rica. So we have too much to offer. Just don't put 15 days in a rush. Put a few places, and then you can explain to the traveler, well, maybe, you have to come back to Costa Rica.
2.0.
Yeah, you are missing this place. I'm going to show you this part of Costa Rica, and then you can come back with the other part of Costa Rica. This is
Excellent.
the second point that we have to keep in mind. Not selling Costa Rica in just one place. We have to keep in mind. And the third point is, you have to keep in mind the follow-up of this traveler, because you have to keep in mind that this traveler maybe wants to come back. So that's the key point is, remember we are here for you, or for your family, or any friends. We are selling Costa Rica. So that's our tricky points. Human connections, as always said, not selling Costa Rica in just one itinerary because we have too much to offer. And the key point is always do the follow-up, because we have to sell Costa Rica more often. So you go to the beaches and you go to the national park, you have to come back to Costa Rica and do like bird watching. You can do local communities activities. And this is we are going to sell Costa Rica. That's the tricky factors for me, is that as a DMC, it's not just a DMC, it's other people who want to sell Costa Rica. And also the hotels needs to understand that, to come back again to Costa Rica, because this is the way we are. And just want to add some more, one key point is the privilege we have in Costa Rica is our Costa Rica spirit, Daniel. I have the opportunity to travel, and the people, when I say I am from Costa Rica, they got crazy.
Oof, yeah.
They hear, oh, Costa Rica, I want to Costa Rica, one day I have to come to Costa Rica. Or a few years back, I went to Costa Rica. So we have to take care of this. So this could be the 4 point, maybe, that the people who sell Costa Rica have to keep in mind. We already have a reputation of genuine people. So that's the key point we have to keep in mind. These 4 points for me are essential if someone who wants to sell Costa Rica.
We are sellers. We sell the country. We sell our properties. We sell our tours. And you hit something there that really boomed me. Don't sell all at once.
Yes.
But now, if you have one wildlife experience that should be included in that first trip, that hook, the one that would make people fall in love as a wildlife experience, what would that be?
Oof, well, I love Costa Rica, I love all the places. However, I do have these places for me, I do believe, Osa Peninsula. It's the first impression that maybe we could have in Costa Rica. It's another kind of, nature, wildlife we have in Costa Rica. And then Caño Negro, it's another place we have to keep in mind.
Not many people know. Danny, what would you say in terms of your expertise? That's what one thing that would make people fall in love and want to come back?
Well, for me, uh, I have been very impressed in the past with the whale watching. You know, it's impressive how many whales during the whale watching season, how many whales you can spot on a tour, and that is for me. And I like it because it's a nature observation tour, but you're also normally on the ocean, on the beach, and that is one of my favorite spots to be. So I would say that, and I love also because I'm not that adventurous. I love wellness experiences. You know, being in hot springs, being pampered by a very nice massage beachfront. I don't know, and enjoying the sunset and enjoying the forest bathing hike. So all those wellness experiences, going to Blue Zone, is something that really impacts me as well. That I enjoy.
I keep thinking about that, keep coming back. But there's something you could do only in theory once in your lifetime, a honeymoon. Danny, as a expert in lodging, what would be a place you would choose and recommend people for honeymoons?
For honeymoons, well, it's not my specialty, honeymoons, but I would say probably a place with an awesome view from the room because you spend a lot of the time during the honeymoon in the room, and you want to be romantic, maybe that you have on-site possibility of short excursions or hikes or some short tours to do around.
Josue, would you like to add into the honeymoon part? Again, so one experience.
Well, one experience I have that much to keep in mind. For me, just a personal perception is Arenal. For me, Arenal could be a great place to have like a honeymoon stay. I always think in a family who wants to go like a couple, to have a great dinner with a waterfall. You know, I think it could be a great scenario for like a honeymoon people who wants to come to Costa Rica. It could be a great place. You have also the hot springs. I think it could be like the key point of having a honeymoon here in Costa Rica. We have many other places here in Costa Rica. To be honest with you, I can suggest too many others, but for me, as a personal point of view, it could be Arenal.
Excellent. Now, one final question over here. Obviously, you can tell I love food, and that's one of the things travel agents say, do you only have rice and beans, which is so not true. Every area has its culture. Perhaps, what is your favorite food here in Costa Rica?
Oh, my favorite food in Costa Rica. Wow. You know, I will say my grandmother's food. It could be one of the key points, but my favorite food in Costa Rica here is chifrijo. I think it's a simple food. However, chifrijo for me is a great experience. However, the traveler who wants to come to Costa Rica should try always picadillos. This is one of the more cultural dishes in Costa Rica, and also olla de carne. I think, well, we already know that it's a typical soup here in Costa Rica, so I think the people who come to Costa Rica should try it. Picadillos and olla de carne.
Danny?
Yeah. Danny?
Well, Costa Rica has been evolving a lot in gastronomy, and I know we are offering a very sophisticated Costa Rican gastronomy because we have all ingredients in Costa Rica. We have all meats here. We have the cattle, we have the fish, we have the chicken. We have all kinds of proteins to put together with vegetables and fruits and so on. So, and there are amazing chefs doing a great job. But I still appreciate the very typical casado. I love to eat casado. Yeah, I love to eat rice arroz con pollo, right? Rice and chicken.
As we do always.
And actually, my favorite food is seafood and fish. So I'm very happy when I'm at the Caribbean coast and I can eat seafood. I don't know, rice and beans, with some fish or shrimps, or
Any kind of seafood there is delicious.
they're delicious. Yeah.
I can say there are countries where farm to table is a huge concept. Costa Rica, it's a reality. Every day we're gonna have daily fresh products served in your dishes, and this is why people can fall in love. Juices, fresh from the fruits, daily harvested. So I guess we have to tell people the invitation is for them to come and discover Costa Rica, to keep connected with Proimagen. We have more podcasts coming. We're really excited. We're going to be able to share more of the expertise. Make sure you follow all the work we're doing with Proimagen. Thank you very much, Aniel. Thank you very much, Josue. It's been an honor and a pleasure. I wish we had more time, but we expect you in our next